All right, so on the Dodge, one of the things that I noticed over the weekend was there is a valve tap, and it's from a misinstalled valve spring retainer. I noticed this a while ago when I did a valve adjustment, and I just never had the parts or the tool to do it properly. It's a special tool for flathead engines to be able to lift the valve spring from the side port where the valves are, because they're not overhead valves, they're in-block valves, so you can actually adjust the valves with them in the car and the head on. So we're going to do that. And what you have to do here is just take off this piece on the fender, and then you can get right to underneath here where the valves are. Super easy. So this comes out, put that over here, and then we have full access to the valve covers. You see the fuel pump there as well. Might need to move this shield out of the way here. There's a little splash shield. I believe it's on the first bank over here on the right. Alright, I turned the wheel over to see if I get more space in here. I might just take the wheel off. That's going to give a lot more space. Alright, so we got the big ass wheel off. And now, much easier. And you see, these valve covers are actually designed to come on and off. It's just a thumb screw. I don't remember if I have to take this plate off or not. I think I can just bend it out of the way. I believe it's on the first bank over here. That's the next step. Alright, turns out you got to back off the fuel pump just a little bit, just loosen it so you can get this valve cover out of the way. We're going to use the same gasket, so I'm just putting it down gently. And then we have the valves here. Let's see. Okay. I think it's one of these. Might be the first or second one. Got to replace the spring guide. Alright. Yeah, so the problem here is that you see on the valve here on the left, you can see the bottom of the tappet. That way you can make an adjustment. This one's pushed up a little bit. This one's all the way down. The bottom of this tappet is not visible at all. So I believe either the valve is bent, or the spring retainer there is bent, or something. So we weren't able to make an adjustment, and I'm concerned about the condition of that tappet. So we're gonna use the tool, lift the spring off it, see what's going on. And this is the tool. It's a KD 700 valve spring tool for flathead engines. It goes in like that, and then you screw the top portion up to lift the spring. They don't make these anymore, but you can still find original ones, and this would have been an upper echelon tool for this vehicle. And here we go. Just turning this. I've adjusted the jaws on it so that it opens properly. Oh boy. And it's lifting the valve with it. Okay, I'm gonna figure that out. Stand by. So we got the spring compressed, and only one collet came out. So I wonder if that was the problem. We're gonna put two in and see if it comes down properly, and then I think we'll be done. Alright, it's finicky, but we got both collets in. Of course, the trick is slather them in grease so they stick on. Now we're gonna lower the lifter here. Let's see if it goes nice and slow. All right. Awesome. Perfect. And that tappet is visible under there now. I think it was just that one collet was missing. All right, we're gonna make an adjustment, fire the engine up and try it out. Okay, now we're gonna do valve tappet adjustment. And according to the manual TM9808, and big shout out to Portrayal Press for reprinting these, the adjustment is 0.010 with feeler gauge hot. 012 should not pass go on 010, so if that's the hot, you add a couple thou for cold, so we'll do it to 0.012 cold, 0.014 no go. So I won't be able to put the feeler gauge on 014. That should not go into the valve, but 012 will pass. 010 if it's a hot adjustment. Now you need a 7/16 inch wrench for the top of the tappet and a 1/2 inch wrench for the bottom of the tappet. And that's what it looks like right there. So we'll do the feeler gauge right now and come back to you in a minute. All right, you can see the tappet clearance there. This is the 012 gauge. Good. And it's perfect. All right, we're gonna button this back up and run her. Okay. All right, everything's buttoned back up. Valve cover is back on there. Made sure to take the hand crank out of the front of the engine. See, we power on. Couple pumps. Awesome. Oil's good. Temp's good. Getting there. Less of a tap than before. Perfect.